This morning, as I sat with a warm cup of tea and looked out through the misty window, a familiar question came to mind, one that many of us probably ask ourselves quite often. What should I eat for breakfast today? It sounds simple, but in truth at our age and with our current health, it's a question well worth pondering. Because unlike in our younger days, our bodies now respond very differently to what we feed them each morning. I remember a time when an old neighbor of mine told me that after having a sausage sandwich and a strong cup of coffee for breakfast, he felt tired for the rest of the morning. At first I thought it was the weather, or maybe a bad night's sleep, he said. But it turned out it was the breakfast I chose. Thinking back on it, I realize so many people in our generation are still eating breakfast out of habit, not realizing that those very foods we've grown used to might be quietly impacting our blood pressure, our heart, and even our memory. After the age of 60, the body becomes much more sensitive. The liver, kidneys, heart, and stomach are no longer as strong as they once were. Just one wrong food choice in the morning can leave you feeling sluggish, upset your digestion, or even trigger dizziness or insomnia later in the day. That's why today, I'd like to sit down with you and have a quiet chat about breakfast, a seemingly small detail that can have a surprisingly big impact. Together, we'll take a look at 4 breakfast foods that older adults should really avoid no matter how tempting they may be, and instead, we'll explore 4 simple, easy-to-make alternatives that are wonderfully suited for aging bodies. These meals aren't fancy, expensive, or hard to find once. You understand why some should be avoided and why others are better. You'll see that taking care of your health each morning can be as gentle and comforting as sipping a cup of tea. I know some people might say, I've eaten like this my whole life, and I'm fine. And maybe that was true before, but have you noticed yourself getting tired more easily lately? Do your knees ache after just a few steps? Do you feel lightheaded when standing up? Sometimes these things come on so slowly, we don't even notice until it's too late. But what I hope to show you today isn't meant to worry you. It's to help you see that with just a few small changes, you can absolutely improve your health, your energy, and maybe even your years ahead. Breakfast, as people often say, is the foundation for the day. If that foundation is weak, no matter how hard you try, you're likely to feel worn out. But if that foundation is strong, built with the right food and good choices, your body will be energized, your mind will be clearer, and every morning will feel like a fresh, vibrant start. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just someone who has lived through years of skipping or overlooking breakfast and then had to learn how to eat again, learn how to listen to my body. And I believe, if you're here, listening to these words, you probably want to make the years ahead healthier and more fulfilling too. So why don't we begin right now by looking at one of the most seemingly innocent breakfast items, one that, in reality, may be silently draining your energy, spiking your blood sugar, and even affecting your memory? Let me tell you about the first one. A food you've likely eaten many times in your life, and that might even be sitting in your kitchen cabinet this very morning. It's sugary breakfast cereal. You know the kind, bright, colorful boxes promising high fiber, heart healthy, or diet friendly. Sounds good, right? But what's really inside tells a different story. There was a time when I stayed with my grandchildren, and every morning the little one would pour cereal into a bowl, add some milk, and eat it happily. I tried it a few times myself, thinking I could adopt a quicker morning routine. But after just a few days, I started feeling tired, my heart racing more than usual, and my sleep at night was unsettled. Only when I finally read the nutrition label on the back of the cereal box did I realize it was packed with sugar. Most breakfast cereals on the market contain an alarming amount of sugar, sometimes more than cakes or canned soda. A single bowl can have 15 to 20 grams of sugar, and if you add sweetened milk or dried fruits, that number easily doubles. For older adults, that much sugar isn't just empty calories, it can trigger spikes in blood sugar, worsen existing conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, and contribute to chronic inflammation, which leads to joint pain and fatigue. Some people say, "But I only eat a small bowl." Sure, but the aging body metabolizes sugar much slower and reacts more sharply. What seems like a harmless portion can still cause your blood sugar to shoot up and then crash, leaving you shaky, fatigued, or even dizzy before noon. Another hidden problem is how these sugary cereals trick your taste buds. Over time, they make you crave more sweet things, make it hard to enjoy the natural flavors of healthy food, and can push your entire diet out of balance. But don't worry, there's an easy alternative. Instead of reaching for packaged cereals, try making your own simple bowl at home. Use plain rolled oats, a spoonful of chia seeds, a few slices of banana or apple, and a sprinkle of cinnamon or fresh ginger. No added sugar needed. When you get used to it, you'll start tasting the gentle sweetness in the fruit itself, and your body will feel more stable and satisfied after breakfast. I once shared this with someone who used to be addicted to boxed cereal. Just 2 weeks after switching to oats and fruit, they said, "I never thought I'd stop craving that crunch, but now I actually look forward to this." That's the power of giving your body a new habit, a better one. I'm not saying you have to ban cereal forever, but it's important to look closely at what you're eating. Every spoonful of sweetened cereal might feel innocent, but it could be sending a quiet invitation to the very health issues you've spent your life trying to avoid. Change is possible, and it can start tomorrow morning with just one better choice. And now, let's move on to another seemingly harmless favorite, one that's been on breakfast tables for decades but might not be doing your body any favors after 60. It's white bread. Yes, that soft, fluffy slice that shows up in everything from a simple toast with jam to a sandwich filled with ham and cheese. For many older adults, white bread is a staple, easy to chew, easy to digest, and familiar. But beneath that comforting texture lies a problem that most people don't notice until it begins affecting their body day by day. I remember someone once telling me, "I don't eat anything bad, just a slice of toast and coffee every morning." But when I asked what kind of bread used, it turned out to be white sandwich bread made from refined flour. That's when the puzzle pieces started to fit, feeling tired mid-morning, foggy thinking, and a bloated stomach after every meal. All signs pointing not to old age, but to what was on the plate. White bread is made from refined flour, which means all the fiber and nutrients have been stripped away during processing. What's left is a type of carbohydrate that breaks down quickly in your body, almost like sugar. This causes a sharp rise in blood sugar, followed by a sudden drop, which explains why so many people feel hungry again just an hour or two after breakfast. For seniors, this kind of sugar spike and crash can be even more harmful. It can lead to increased fatigue, poor concentration, and cravings that throw the rest of your meals out of balance. Even worse, it puts added strain on your digestive system and can raise inflammation throughout the body, especially in the joints and blood vessels. If you've ever felt your stomach bloated or your energy drained after breakfast, it might not be your age, it might be your bread. But here's the good news. Switching to whole grain or whole wheat bread is simple and makes a huge difference. Unlike white bread, whole grain options still contain the fiber, B vitamins, and healthy plant compounds that help regulate digestion, keep you feeling full, and support heart health. One older person I spoke to said that after switching to whole grain bread with a hard-boiled egg and a slice of tomato, not only did their digestion improve, but they also felt lighter and more clear-headed throughout the morning. They even joked, Now I can walk to the park without holding my belly. What matters most here is not giving up bread completely, but being more thoughtful about the kind you eat. Your body at this age deserves the kind of care that comes from food that fuels and protects it, not food that fills you up just to leave you crashing later. So, next time you reach for that familiar loaf in the supermarket, take a moment. Look for the labels that say 100% whole grain or whole wheat. Better yet, try sprouted grain bread or rye for added variety. Toast it. Top it with a mashed avocado or a spoonful of nut butter and enjoy a breakfast that gives back to your health instead of taking away from it. Now that we've taken a look at this second sneaky breakfast habit, let's continue our journey, because the next one is crispy, savory, and smells wonderful on the pan. But for older adults, it might just be one of the worst choices you can make in the morning. It's processed meats like sausage and cold cuts. Yes, those crispy sausages, smoky slices of ham, or neatly stacked deli meats that many of us have enjoyed for years. They're tasty, convenient, and easy to throw into a quick breakfast. But after the age of 60, these processed meats may quietly become one of the biggest threats to your long-term health, especially if they're a regular part of your morning routine. I remember hearing someone say, "It's just one sausage in the morning. How bad can it be?" And that's exactly the problem. These foods don't look dangerous. They don't make you feel sick right away. But over time, their effects add up. Processed meats are loaded with preservatives, sodium, nitrates, and saturated fat. These ingredients are used to keep the meat looking fresh and tasting good for a long time, but your body doesn't handle them well, especially as it ages. The high salt content alone is enough to raise blood pressure, strain the kidneys, and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Even more concerning, research has linked regular consumption of processed meats to a higher risk of colorectal cancer. For older adults who may already have slower digestion and reduced detox function, this kind of burden can be especially harmful. And it's not just the inside of the body that feels it. Have you ever noticed feeling heavy, sluggish, or even bloated after a breakfast with sausage or bacon? That's your body telling you it's working overtime to process what it sees as inflammatory, difficult to handle food. The truth is, there are far better options that can still give you the protein and flavor you enjoy in the morning without the hidden risks. You can prepare lean meats like grilled chicken breast ahead of time, shred them, and mix with a bit of olive oil and herbs, or try a boiled egg with steamed vegetables. If you enjoy a savory breakfast, even a small tofu stir-fry with low-sodium soy sauce can be comforting, filling, and far gentler on your body. One older adult I spoke to switched out their morning sausage habit for a homemade mix of mashed chickpeas, olive oil, and a touch of garlic spread on whole grain toast. They told me they didn't just feel less bloated, they felt proud. Proud of making a choice that supported their health, not sabotaged it. It's not about giving up everything you love. It's about giving your body a better version of what it needs. Maybe you'll still enjoy sausage once in a while at a special brunch, but for your everyday mornings, try something that gives your body energy without weighing it down. Now let's move on to the fourth breakfast item that many older adults turn to, especially when they think they're doing something healthy, but which, if you're not careful, can actually undo all your best intentions. It's packaged fruit juice and sweetened milk. That's right, the carton of orange juice you pour thinking it's full of vitamins, or that glass of milk with sugar that feels comforting and familiar. These drinks are often considered healthy breakfast staples, but for older adults, they can quietly bring more harm than benefit if consumed regularly. There was a time when I drank a glass of boxed apple juice every morning. It was refreshing, easy, and I truly believed I was doing something good for my body. But soon enough, I started feeling tired mid-morning, shaky even, despite having just eaten. Only when I took the time to read the label did I realize that each glass contained over 20 grams of sugar, and not the kind from natural fruit, but added sugars and concentrates. You see, most commercial fruit juices aren't the same as eating fresh fruit. They're made from fruit concentrate, often diluted and sweetened with added sugars and artificial flavorings. They may taste fruity, but they've lost most of the fiber, enzymes, and real nutrients you'd get from biting into a whole piece of fruit. And when you drink juice without the natural fiber, your body absorbs the sugar extremely quickly, causing your blood sugar to spike. For someone over 60, whose insulin response is already slower, this kind of sugar surge can be dangerous. It leads to that temporary energy high, followed by a crash, leaving you feeling drained, dizzy, or craving something sweet again just a short time later. The same is true for sweetened milk. While milk can be a good source of calcium and protein, many versions are loaded with added sugar, sometimes as much as a can of soda. And if you're drinking sweetened milk first thing in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, it can upset your digestive system and contribute to rising blood sugar levels. A health expert once told me, if you enjoy milk, switch to unsweetened plant-based options like almond or oat milk and pair them with food, not on their own. That way, your body absorbs it more gently, and you avoid unnecessary sugar spikes. You don't have to give up these drinks entirely. If you love orange juice, try squeezing it fresh and drink it in small portions, ideally with breakfast, not on an empty stomach. Or, better yet, eat the whole orange, fiber and all. If you enjoy milk, choose unsweetened varieties and combine it with a fiber-rich breakfast like oats or fruit. I knew someone who used to drink sweetened condensed milk in their tea every morning. When they switched to unsweetened almond milk and added a few slices of banana to their oatmeal, they told me they felt more steady, less bloated, and surprisingly satisfied. Sometimes, it's the smallest changes that create the biggest impact. At this point, we've looked at 4 common breakfast choices that seem harmless but can actually take a toll on your health, especially in your golden years. But now it's time to shift the focus. Instead of what to avoid, let's talk about what to embrace: 4 nourishing, energizing breakfast options that truly support the health and well-being of those over 60. Let's begin with one of the simplest, yet most powerful: a bowl of slow-cooked oatmeal. It might not look fancy, and it's certainly not a new trend, but for older adults, it's one of the most reliable, comforting, and healing breakfast choices you can make. And no, I don't mean the instant kind you pour hot water into and stir. I mean real, whole oats cooked gently, slowly, until they soften into a warm, creamy texture that soothes your stomach and fuels your morning. I first started eating oatmeal after my doctor suggested I work on lowering my cholesterol and improving digestion. At first, I wasn't sure. It didn't seem exciting, but I gave it a chance. I cooked rolled oats with a little water, added a few slices of banana, a sprinkle of chia seeds, and just a pinch of cinnamon. The aroma that filled the kitchen was gentle and earthy, and that first spoonful surprised me. It wasn't just food, it was comfort. The impact came quickly. I noticed I didn't feel bloated after eating. I didn't feel hungry again before lunchtime, and most of all, I felt lighter, more steady. That's because oatmeal is rich in a special kind of fiber called beta-glucan, which helps regulate blood sugar, supports heart health, and keeps your digestive system running smoothly. One older adult I spoke with said they used to struggle with constipation for years, but after just 2 weeks of adding oatmeal to their mornings, they felt cleaner, less weighed down, and much more regular. And because it's a gentle, warm food, oatmeal is perfect for aging stomachs that may no longer handle greasy or heavy breakfasts. What makes oatmeal even better is how versatile it is. You can go sweet or savory depending on your mood, add fruit like apples, berries, or pears, stir in chopped nuts or seeds, or go savory with a soft-boiled egg, a little steamed spinach, and a dash of olive oil. You can cook a big batch ahead of time and keep portions in the fridge. Just heat one up each morning and you're good to go. Someone once asked me, "Isn't it boring to eat oatmeal every day?" And I smiled, because every morning I get to choose something different to go with it. One day, it's banana and cinnamon. The next, it's pumpkin puree and ginger. Then maybe peanut butter and blueberries. When you see food as a way to care for yourself, even a humble bowl of oats can feel like a daily gift. And perhaps the best thing? Oatmeal is kind. It doesn't shock your system. It doesn't overload your blood sugar. It nourishes slowly, gently, steadily, just the way the body needs as we age. So, tomorrow morning, when you're wondering what to eat, try starting your day with a bowl of warm oats. It's not just breakfast. It's a signal to your body that you're choosing health, choosing comfort, and choosing yourself. And now, let's move on to a fruit that's soft, creamy, and bursting with healthy fats and might just become your new favorite breakfast companion. It's the avocado. That smooth, green fruit that feels almost like butter on the tongue. Some people absolutely love it, while others say it doesn't taste like much. But if you're over 60, the avocado is truly one of the best gifts nature can offer your body. There was a time when I didn't pay it much attention. Whenever someone praised avocados, I'd nod politely and move on. I'd think, I've eaten rice and soup all my life and done just fine. But then came a health checkup. My blood lipids were up. My blood pressure wasn't where it used to be, and that's when I started looking more closely at what I was eating each day. And that's when avocado quietly entered the picture. Instead of sausage and buttered bread in the morning, I tried half an avocado mashed onto whole grain toast. Just that one change, and soon after, I started feeling different. Better, steadier, more in tune with my body. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the good kind that help lower bad cholesterol and raise good cholesterol. That alone makes it a heart-friendly food, which is crucial as we age. But avocados also contain more potassium than bananas, which helps regulate blood pressure. And they're packed with vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that supports memory and slows the aging of brain cells. You might not notice the change immediately, but give it time. Stick with it. One older adult I knew shared that once they started adding avocado to breakfast, they felt fuller, longer, more mentally clear, and less tempted to snack on sugary foods later. It's not magic, it's just giving your body what it needs. The best part? Avocado is easy. You don't need to cook, heat, or prepare anything complicated. Just slice, mash, add a bit of lemon juice and salt, and spread it over whole grain bread. Or toss it into a smoothie with some almond milk. You can mix it with plain yogurt and seeds, or simply enjoy it with a boiled egg and tomatoes. Some people ask, isn't avocado too fatty? But not all fats are equal. The fat in avocados supports your metabolism, keeps you full, and actually helps with weight control when eaten in reasonable amounts, like half to one avocado a day. And have you noticed? When you eat something that your body truly welcomes, you don't feel heavy or tired afterward. There's no bloating, no discomfort, just a quiet sense of balance. Avocado is one of those rare foods that offers that gentle gratitude from within. So next time you're in the produce aisle, look for a ripe avocado. Hold it in your hand and know it's not just a fruit. It's a step toward more energy, more clarity, and more kindness to yourself. We've now explored 2 nourishing breakfast choices. Ready to keep going? Let's take a look at a classic staple. Humble, powerful, and perfectly suited for mornings over 60. It's the egg. Simple, familiar, and often underestimated. But don't let that fool you. An egg is one of the most complete, efficient sources of nutrition you can put on your breakfast plate, especially after 60. Some older adults avoid eggs, worried about cholesterol. But modern research tells a different story. When eaten in moderation and as part of a balanced diet, eggs don't raise your cholesterol in harmful ways. In fact, they bring a host of benefits that your aging body can truly use. Eggs are packed with high-quality protein that helps maintain muscle mass, a crucial need as we grow older. They also contain vitamin D for stronger bones, B vitamins for energy metabolism, and choline, a nutrient many people don't get enough of, which supports brain health and memory. And if you're someone who feels tired mid-morning, one egg could make a real difference. A breakfast that includes an egg, whether it's hard, boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil, tends to keep you feeling full longer, helping prevent that late morning slump or urge to snack on something sugary. The beauty of eggs is how adaptable they are. Some mornings, you might enjoy them simply boiled with a bit of salt and pepper. Other days, you can slice one over a bowl of warm oats with steamed spinach. You can mash a hard-boiled egg with avocado on toast, or make a soft egg and vegetable stir-fry for something savory and comforting. A small tip: try to avoid frying eggs in butter or pairing them with bacon or sausage, as that counteracts their benefits. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and your body will thank you. I remember someone once saying, "I didn't realize how much better my mornings could feel until I replaced my usual toast and jam breakfast with an egg and some roasted veggies." They said they felt sharper, more energized, and their digestion improved too. Eggs are also good for your eyes. The yolk contains lutein and zeaxanthin antioxidants that protect against age-related macular degeneration. That's a fancy term for the kind of vision loss that sneaks up as we get older. With regular egg consumption, you're giving your eyes a bit of quiet defense. And don't forget they're affordable, quick to prepare, and easy to digest. When you're not in the mood to cook a full meal, but still want something warm and nourishing, an egg might be just what you need. So next time you open the fridge in the morning and you see a carton of eggs sitting there, take it as an invitation, a reminder that your breakfast doesn't need to be complicated to be powerful. It just needs to be thoughtful. We've come to our third energizing breakfast choice, and now it's time to meet the final one, tiny in size, but mighty in what it brings to the table. It's nuts and seeds. Small, quiet, and often overlooked, yet they carry within them a powerhouse of nutrition, perfect for those of us who want to support our bodies gently but effectively after the age of 60. Think of almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds. Each one is like a little capsule of strength, full of healthy fats, protein, fiber, magnesium, vitamin E, and even compounds that support brain and heart health. And the best part? You only need a small handful a day to feel the difference. As we age, our metabolism slows and our appetite may not be as strong, but our need for quality nutrition doesn't go away. In fact, it becomes even more important. That's where nuts and seeds come in. They help you feel full without feeling heavy. They keep your blood sugar stable. They reduce inflammation in your joints. And they feed your brain the healthy fats it needs to stay sharp. Someone I know once shared that after adding just a tablespoon of mixed seeds to their morning oatmeal, they not only felt more satisfied but also noticed their digestion improved significantly. No more mid-morning cravings, no more sluggishness. Just steady energy and a light, calm stomach. You don't need to eat a lot. A tablespoon of flax seeds in your smoothie, a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds over a bowl of oats, a handful of walnuts with a sliced apple, or even almond butter spread on whole grain toast. These little additions take almost no time, but they nourish deeply. And here's something many people don't realize. Some nuts and seeds, like walnuts and flax seeds, contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for protecting the heart and reducing the risk of cognitive decline. If you're not eating much fish, this is a great way to make sure you're still giving your body what it needs. Just remember, choose unsalted, unroasted versions when possible. Avoid the ones coated in sugar or flavored with artificial seasonings. Nature gave them all the flavor they need. One person I spoke with told me they prepare a small jar each week with their favorite mix, almonds, cashews, sunflower seeds, and chia, and each morning they take just 2 spoonfuls to top off their breakfast. It became a peaceful ritual, a moment of care and intention to start the day. Nuts and seeds are more than just a snack. They're a reminder that strength doesn't always come in big packages. Sometimes, it's the quiet choices, the small habits that carry us forward with grace. And now, as we reach the end of this journey together, let's pause, take a breath, and gently reflect on everything we've just uncovered. Because changing how you eat, especially at this stage of life, isn't just about choosing the right foods. It's about choosing to listen. Listening to your body, to your energy, to the way you feel after a meal. And sometimes, listening to that quiet voice inside that says, I want to feel better. Maybe you've been eating the same way for years. Maybe you've gotten used to feeling tired, foggy, or bloated in the morning, assuming it's just part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if something as small as what you eat when you wake up could change the entire rhythm of your day? That's what this conversation has been about. Not big, dramatic changes. Not expensive ingredients or complex diets. Just simple, thoughtful shifts, one bite at a time, one choice at a time. We've looked at 4 breakfast foods to be cautious of: sugary cereals, white bread, processed meats, and sweetened drinks. And we've explored 4 nourishing, energizing options instead: slow-cooked oatmeal, creamy avocado, gentle eggs, and a handful of powerful nuts and seeds. You don't have to change everything at once. In fact, you shouldn't choose one thing to try tomorrow. Maybe you swap out the toast for whole grain. Maybe you add a boiled egg. Maybe you top your oatmeal with walnuts instead of sugar. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be a step forward. And if it feels difficult, that's okay. Every habit you have now started from something small. New ones can start that way too. The important thing is that you're trying. You're showing up for yourself. And that matters more than anything. You're not alone in this. Many others just like you are making the same small changes. And the more we share, the more we learn together. So I invite you, if you found something that works for you, or if you have a question or a story to tell, leave a comment below. Let this be a place where we support one another in living fuller, healthier lives. And if this video has helped you, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Every week, we'll be back with more gentle advice, heartfelt conversations, and practical tips to help you feel your best at every stage of life. Because getting older isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up smarter, softer, and stronger than ever before. So tomorrow morning, when the sun peeks through your window and you're deciding what to eat, remember, your first choice of the day doesn't just feed your body. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Choose something kind, choose something strong, choose yourself, and I'll see you next time.